let's go to the news dump. There's so much more to talk about.
Right. The Distracted Gamer Podcast. Big steaming pile of news dump.
We're going to say squatting outside because I like looking at the castle.
To the bottom of that mountain.
I'm just going to take a little squat out here in front of the castle.
Admire it. Yes.
Admire it.
Not get struck by lightning.
Not get struck by lightning. Well, don't hold that steel rod while you're taking a poop, Silver.
I have to. How do you do
Hold
it?
this for me.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'd loft it above my head.
Where's your
and I
pooping
proceed.
rod? Hey, did I say Saudi Arabia? Well, let's talk more about Saudi Arabia.
Oh, God.
In a shocking turn of events, Saudi Arabia has had a massive comedy festival. Forked out absurd amounts of money to drag in the biggest names in comedy to Riyadh to have a massive comedy festival. That's right. Huge names were being brought in. Crossing from Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, all across the board. It is a massive festival. And they forked out absurd money. Absurd money. I wish I found the list of comedians. Let's see. Comedians at
So
Saudi.
I've heard of them doing like comedy shows there in the Middle East. One of the ones that I remember was Jeff Dunham did a world tour, and he ended up doing some stuff in the Middle East. As I recall, in order for him to do that, they had to do the comedy show out of town, like out in the desert somewhere. They like put up an enormous tent and did the comedy show like outside of the cities. Did they do that for this one?
I don't believe so. They seem like they were in an arena. Pete Davidson, Bill Burr, Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle. Like the list is absurd. Like every big name that's a part of this, that's in comedy, was a part of this. Now, here's where the controversy becomes really important. For people, especially comedians, who have been decrying freedom of speech constantly and wanting their voices to be heard, apparently throw that out the bloomin' window when fat stacks of Middle Eastern money come your way. And you might go, oh, well, that's not fair. They couldn't talk about certain things in Riyadh. They couldn't talk about the royal family. They couldn't talk about religion. And particularly Bill Burr got a lot of flack because he constantly talks about how terrible America is, and then he accepted a bunch of money for human rights violators, Saudi Arabia. Dave Chappelle went and spoke there, claiming that he has more freedom of speech in Saudi Arabia than he does in America.
No.
What?
That's right.
That's garbage right there.
Except for the fact that he would be arrested or kicked out. I mean, talk about the LGBTQ community in Riyadh.
Exactly.
Hey, talk to them about freedom of expression for people you supposedly might support. All of these left-wing comedians, their values go out the bloomin' window when somebody shows up with a lot of money. You know what? Values don't mean anything when they can be bought. Guess who turned it down?
What?
Shane Gillis turned it down.
Oh, heck yeah.
He did. And he turned him down, and they came back with double the money, and he still said no. And on his podcast, he claimed, you're supposed to be our friends, and you're not supposed to 9/11 your friends. Lest we forget everybody on the plane were Saudis. Shane Gillis turned it down. Your values are meaningless if they can be bought. So if you care about the LGBTQ community, you shouldn't have gone to Saudi. If you care about values and freedom of speech, let me remind everybody, the reporter who spoke poorly of the Saudi family who turned up dead in a suitcase.
Oh gosh.
Let's forget that homosexuality is banned in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And somehow you have more freedom of speech, Dave Chappelle, there than here. No one's stopping you from saying what you want to.
Nope.
You just don't like the fact that people disagree, but no one's stopping you. Guess what you couldn't say? Jokes about the Saudi family. Does that sound like freedom of speech to you? Everybody seems confused. Do we need to go back to the other podcast 2 weeks ago where we had a sit-down conversation about what freedom of speech meant? It's not that. It's not Saudi Arabia. That's not what it means. People seem to be baffled as to what freedom of speech means. Freedom of speech only means something when you can say what you want to without being arrested by the government.
Yep.
No.
Dave
Doesn't
Chappelle's
mean that
funny. He's also a dipshit for saying that.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that you won't get punched in the face by some biker named Tiny, but you won't be arrested and thrown in a gulag or killed by the government. That's what freedom of speech is. And America just keeps forgetting that.
Look at this sellout, Bill Burr.
So I was trying to find out where the comedy show was. It's apparently in a place called Boulevard City, which is a mixed-use development for entertainment specifically. So that's probably why they're able to have this comedy show there. But apparently there was a well-known lesbian comic that was also included in this, and she got a ton of flack for appearing at this comedy show.
Yeah, but the money, though.
The Muns.
A lot of speculation, especially this article from The Nation, seems to think that stuff like this is trying to help revitalize Saudi Arabia's poor image.
Yeah.
Aw.
That might be so.
You know what would help Saudi Arabia?
Fix your
I
image.
can think of a number of things right off the top of my head. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion. Those are just two right there.
I can't do that. Too hard.
Oh, Saudi's got their fingers in everything, and they got fat stacks of cash. They're going to buy out your values, and they'll buy your gaming companies, and there's not a dang thing you can do about it. There's some speculation they might buy the WWE.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Saudi for life!
Vince is sitting there already counting it right now.
Counting it right now. Apparently the word is that Amazon can't cancel Rings of Power because
Oh
there's
my
a
gosh.
clause with Tolkien Estate that if they cancel it before 5 seasons, it's going to cost them money.
Oh my gosh. As if it hasn't cost them so much already.
Well, weigh it
They
against
should
the
bite
amount of money
bullet
you
right
spend.
now.
Weighed against the amount of money you spend per season compared to the amount it will cost to terminate the show early.
Yeah.
And then make your decision.
They're not going to make their money back here either way.
It almost damaged Amazon's reputation, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's also funnier with Amazon's bad damaged reputation? So Amazon owns James Bond now, and they're going to make their own James Bond movies or whatever. Here's something that's funny. So they have a lot of promotional imagery for the previous Bond movies. Okay. It's not shown here. Well, it is shown here. What they did for the promotional material is they edited out the guns in the original images.
Really?
That's so dumb.
As if James Bond doesn't shoot guns.
No, he uses karate exclusively, not lethal.
I wonder if they're going to do the ET where they're all holding radios in the movies.
Their radios, for some reason, spark and kill people.
You got to pretend Sean Connery didn't become Japanese, huh? Flawlessly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazon owning your favorite franchises is good. It's good. It's good for you.
It's great.
Yeah, bunch of freaking morons.
ChatGPT apparently is going to stop referencing Reddit, which caused their stock to drop 12%, which is a non-significant number.
Right. Is this something that Reddit was fueling? Are they behind this? Or they're like, hey, ChatGPT, you can't reference us anymore. And then basically everybody's like, well, we can't go with Reddit anymore. They're doing something stupid.
I don't think Reddit's directly behind it, but to read the article, Reddit stock fell roughly 12% Wednesday, extending a decline from the previous trading session amid new data that showed that the use of its content in leading AI chatbot ChatGPT had plummeted mid-September. Reddit content was cited in just 2% of ChatGPT responses on Tuesday, much lower than the 9.7% of ChatGPT responses that cited Reddit the previous month. So it seems like a ChatGPT shift, which everybody's like, oh no.
I mean, it does kind of make sense that ChatGPT is going to stop referencing it because they would have to figure out a deal with Reddit to be able to reference their content. And they probably don't want to do that.
At the very least, to draw traffic, which is something Reddit would want.
Yeah, that's but we already kind of talked about that. Not everybody is rational in these things.
So James Gunn has called fans racist and admit he has no oversight over WB and the DCU projects. So let's read.
No wonder Superman was awful.
Instead of acknowledging that some fans simply didn't like the direction, James Gunn went on in the offensive, labeling them racist. To quote, I have a few racists that have called me polarizing, but I'm okay with being polarizing and letting racists fall to the wayside. I think if you're racist, you're probably not using the language of polarizing.
Yeah. If somebody calls you polarizing, that's not a racist statement.
Well, but the response, calling somebody racist basically means that you're allowed to dismiss anything that they say because they're a bad person now. But in reality, if you're racist, you're probably going to say racist stuff instead of saying, well, I think your movie's polarizing. It's like, well, that's not racist. That's just someone that just doesn't like your movie. Also, with a Shocky Turner event, he has apparently no oversight when it comes to all the stuff he's putting out, which explains Peacemaker because it sucks.
Yeah, and it explains Peacemaker. It explains Superman. It explains the direction he's taking the DCEU.
It is no longer DCEU. It is DCU.
So yeah, but it explains the direction he's taking the DCU because there's no oversight. He's like, I can do whatever the heck I want, and that's why we're going to have the authority. Like, what?
Didn't they already make a bad decision, the same company, when it came to Joker with no oversight of Joker 2 and it went poorly?
Yes.
The authority also... Yeah. The authority isn't on the block anymore. Like he was going to do that. It's no longer even remotely in the view. Like he can't even get Superman right. Get Superman right and then do Batman. Stop trying to step ahead of yourself with all these other stupid nonsense. Nobody likes Peacemaker. It is a weird, horrifically racist and really dirty show with a lot of pornography in it. Like it's a dirty show. Your
How many
your kid
seasons
shouldn't
have they
watch
done
it.
of Peacemaker now?
We're on 2.
Really? I thought it was anyway. Didn't everybody like the first season of Peacemaker?
No,
Really? Okay.
no, they didn't. And 2 has gone insane, like off the rocker. He ended up in a new world that's super racist, where basically the Yahtzees won, and the American flag has a swastika on
Oh
it.
no. Okay.
And everybody's making a joke of like, how come your new world seems better than the old one? And why is it better now that it's more racist? And then you had a commentary from a black woman being like, well, I guess this doesn't feel that different from what it is in the world we came from.
Gosh.
Ugh.
People are so stupid.
This is how you ruin a franchise. Become overtly political in a weird, pandering way. It is weird. Look, I get it. Dialogue has gone insane when it comes to politics. But it's not getting better by claiming everybody who disagrees with you is somehow part of a party from the 1930s Germany. Calm down. Calm down, James Gunn. But whatever, it's time to move on. So I'm not going to dwell on this. There's apparently a big drama between Tectone, a streamer on Twitch, and Hassan. People have gone exhaustingly over his stuff and marked all of the times he advocated for violence. And it caused a bunch of drama, and Tectone has had drama with him over the comments about Charlie Kirk and all of the other violent advocacy stuff, because Hassan is he's very lefty, let's just say. Well, he's refusing to go to TwitchCon because Tectone is going to be at TwitchCon, because now they're concerned about safety and security. So Pokemon's also not going to go, as well as some other big streamers. And people are wondering if they're going to cancel TwitchCon over all of the drama, because Hassan ain't going to go if Tectone's going to go.
Oh my god.
I don't care about Twitch, but let it burn. Anyway, let's move on. Another bit of drama that I'm not going to spend a lot of time on. Hey, everybody, J.K. Rowling and Emma Watson are fighting.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I've heard some of this. It's
We don't
of it is kind of interesting, but
we don't need to spend a lot of time. Everybody's talked about this drama. There are countless places to go to. Needless to say, she has, now that the political winds have shifted, Emma Watson has been trying to be somewhat magnanimous with J.K. Rowling, and J.K. Rowling basically suplexed her in this big, long response. Emma Watson has been, look, as much as a feminist as she is, people had, like, were sending death threats and hate towards Rowling, and Emma Watson didn't say a thing, but apparently privately sent a little note to her, which meant nothing, because...
Yep.
And then she tried to say this very passive, like, well, you know, I wish we could have friends that we disagree with. Let's just say this. Emma Watson, you've done nothing significant since Harry Potter, and people will forget you before they'll ever forget Harry Potter. If you really want to get into the drama, which is dramatic, feel free to engage with that. It's all over the internet. I figured it was worth addressing. Anyway. More drama. Elon Musk found that they had a bunch of children's programming advocating for transgender representation, which caused him to advocate to cancel Netflix, which actually had people follow suit, which is weird because more people are canceling Netflix over Elon Musk saying cancel Netflix than people who actually cancel Disney Plus because of the Jimmy Kimmel drama.
Wow.
Yep.
Huh.
Sounds like more people care about what Elon Musk has to say than Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, more or less. It seems like Netflix's stock has dropped 2.5%. I don't know how much that translates to actual subscription drops, but it hasn't been a positive response for Netflix.
Wow.
No one cares to defend the giant corporation. Hey, everybody. It looks like we've got a more clarified cost of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and the cost has soared to about $400 million.
Yikes.
For a movie that sucked.
This is exactly what we've been talking about on the podcast for ages now. Is the fact that nobody seems to be able to create a movie or a video game with a decent budget that actually makes them money. They're like, oh, the last Indiana Jones cost us this much, so this Indiana Jones can't cost us the same amount of money. We have to double the cost. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. If you made the prior Indiana Jones for a certain amount, maybe increase the budget 10, 20%. Don't go double. That's stupid. Don't go triple. Just give it a modest increase.
Nope. All or nothing. Everything is,
Well,
gambling
it's not all or
in
nothing. It's double or
Las
nothing.
Vegas. Throw all your money at it and go into debt. All right, and our final story, Ghosts of Yotei has come out. Now, this is a game I've railed against because I hate the direction that they're taking, because I loved Ghost of Tsushima. Now, apparently it sold pretty well right out the gate. Now, take this for what it is, because a lot of people who are shills for certain products will come out right away and declare victory because they see indication or even pretend sales are better than they are. Let's assume that the sales are 1 million copies, which is selling faster than Ghost of Tsushima. Now, does that mean it's a better game?
Okay.
Well, Ghost of Tsushima was an untested game, which had long legs after that. IP. And Ghost of Yotei is running off of the fame of Ghost of Tsushima. That's why the sales right out the gate. That doesn't mean people like the direction it's going. This is what happened with Last of Us Part 2, where the initial sales are good and then they dropped off dramatically. That's what happened with Spider-Man 2. Initial sales were good because people love Spider-Man 1, and then the sales dropped off when they decided they didn't like the game. That doesn't mean the game is bad. I don't like the politics or the company or the main character. The actress is an activist. All these different reasons why I simply am not interested in purchasing the game. Does that mean the game is bad? I don't know. I haven't touched a game or gotten into it. I've heard from the get-go that she seems kind of girl bossy and more awesome out the gate, rather than Jin Sakai basically loses constantly in the beginning of Ghost of Tsushima. Like, he gets thrown off a bridge. Like, he sucks at the beginning of Ghost of Tsushima. Time will have to tell whether Ghost of Yotei has legs down the road and whether it sells good. I'm not invested into whether or not the game is good or bad, or whether or not it succeeds or not. I would like to see games that do stuff that I don't like do poorly, but if it does well, then whatever. I'm not trying to yuck on your yum if you like the game. That being said, I'm not interested in the game, and this does not mean the game is good. It just means that initial sales are good because people like the other one.
Right.
So we'll see where it goes.
It really has, like you said, it really has no bearing on Ghosts of Yotei. All of this is because of how much people liked Ghost of Tsushima. That's it.
Yep. And Ghost of Tsushima
getting reviews and
was awesome.
Reactions to this.
So yeah, we'll see where it goes. You know what I did when Ghost of Yotei came out? I played Ghost of Tsushima. Because I already have a good game that doesn't insult me or history. So, whatever. I'm fine. I didn't have to play Assassin's Creed Shadows either. And that also didn't do well, even though they declared it was success from the beginning.
Just fine.
Yeah, I'm super fine. My life is fine. I have plenty of other stuff to play. I'll do just fine.